Hello my beautiful blue hearts. I am in the studio today and I'm going to be working on a project that I'd started, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago or so. A hummingbird. So the project is going to be the hummingbird will be hovering over flowers. So this is the inside of the flower and it'll be like that. And I'd gotten some fake flowers and I'm going to assemble them right now. Yeah, I had originally made like these flower petals out of masking tape and these leaves, and I'm just not feeling it. So sometimes you do that. You put in the work and you realize it's just not going to work. So yeah, I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use these fake flower petals and leaves. So I'm going to assemble all that now. But thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone's having a good week so far. It's been stressful here at my house. Have some, medical stuff going on, some things with family going on, and so I thought it'd be really nice to just come in and hang out with everyone and just kind of just chill and relax. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so I got the hot glue gun going, and I just want to figure out how many of these petals I should apply to the flower. So we'll see. Maybe do one to start and then go from there. Try not to burn myself. Alright, so that's what it looks like so far. Just gonna keep going. I think I might do one or two more rows of petals. Hello, welcome. I'm assembling flowers. So I made the inside out of paper mache type clay, and then I inserted these plastic little eyeballs I got from Amazon, and then of course I painted, and I've left the backs blank because I'm going to be gluing onto them, and it'll make it easier for the glue to like stick. But right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm adding little flower petals. So the goal is, to everyone who's just come in, is to have my hummingbird, which is also made out of paper mache, over the flowers, like that. Yeah, I originally made flower petals out of masking tape, and I wasn't feeling it. So I got these fake flowers, and I think it's gonna look a lot better. I think I might add one more row to this flower. Yeah, and I'm gonna paint dowels, and that'll be like the stems. I'm thinking that's what I'll do. How's everyone doing today? Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It helps. I've just gotten over to 1,000 followers now, and so now when I do lives, they'll actually post to my account and people can rewatch them, which is really cool. Oh, thank you so much. I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. That's why I'm doing my art today. It's just kind of, de-stress. Yep, so there's that, and these are like the dowels that I got. And it's going to be like that. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to paint the dowel to match the leaves, and then these leaves will be attached as well. So that's what I'm doing. But first I wanted to get these petals on the flowers because I was just really excited about that. I didn't want to wait. Hello, how are you, Jay? Oh, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so paper mache and a plastic eyeball, and this is also paper mache. And I did a little heart on the hummingbird. Yeah, so all paper mache. And I've never paper mached before. I did like a bubblegum blowing llama up there. There's a video of that if y'all want to see it. And this. And these are my first ever paper mache things I've ever done. What up, Tim? Yep, I'm hanging in there. It's been stressful. I've been having some health issues, some family issues, and I've been really stressed. So art helps me with that. So I went for a drive, listened to my music, cranked up, and I got myself some lunch, and I decided to come back home and do some of my art. And I'm already starting to feel better. So yay! Yay for that. Yes, art helps with coping so much. And I grew up in like an abusive home. I know it's probably like TMI, but I like to talk about it because the people who are out there suffering and they can't talk about it, right? Or they've been through it and they need someone, to relate to. So that's why I talk about it. But I grew up in an abusive home and I've just always been drawn to art. And I would draw when I was a kid, and it just never went away. I just love art so much. I never stopped creating. But yes, it helps so much, and I don't want to give it up. That is very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, it sucks. It's hard to grow up in that environment, but we do what we can to survive and get through. And now I'm like 45, and I'm just trying to heal and cope through all of that. And art is just a big help in all that. All right, so there is flower number 2. So I got 2 flowers going right now, and I've got a bigger one that's going to be like the center focal point with the hummingbird. A little bit bigger. Yeah, and I know y'all can't tell, but there is like a gold metallic kind of wash over it, so it also kind of shimmers, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's see if I can get this flower taken apart here. Now for this bigger one, what I'm thinking is I'll cut some of these petals. Because it's a bigger flower, it's not going to sit right. You see what I'm saying? It's just like little bitty. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut them and just go from there. Just piece them on. Yes, time flies. Time absolutely flies. Yeah, it's important to put in the work for healing. No one can do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. Alright, so I'm gonna try and see if this will look good. I don't know. Alright. Nope, that one came off. Maybe I can make it look like a double flower. Have y'all ever seen that? I've actually had that with some flowers that I've had, some zinnias, where they had like a twin, almost, I don't want to say Siamese, but a conjoined kind of flower. Very cool. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. That might look pretty interesting. I mean, why not? It's already an interesting looking, like center point of it. Why not? I might just do that. Add some more interest. Why not? Conjoined, that's the word. Yeah. Siamese is probably not the word. So apologies for that. But Siamese, or not Siamese, god dang. Conjoined, that's the word. Alright, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, got one on, more to go. If you're a first-time watcher or subscriber, I usually do pretty colorful, whimsical type art, and I usually come in with videos and lives with like with the purpose of like trying to de-stress and hopefully help others de-stress. So if you're into that, you know, here I am. I'm also trying to be careful and not burn myself with this hot glue. I sell them. I have shops. I'll hang them up in my house, as you can see here. Yeah. A lot of times I'll keep my art for a while and just love on it for a little bit, you know, like enjoy it, and then I'll put it in my shops and sell it and let someone else enjoy it for a while. So yes, I do have shops where my art is available right now. If y'all are interested, the link is in my profile. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, I have a threadless shop where you can get like art prints, t-shirts, stickers, things like that. And then I have a Ko-fi shop, which is more like handmade stuff and art tutorials. I do have a couple of art tutorials in watercolor if anyone's interested in learning how to watercolor. Hot, hot, hot. Alright, let's see how well that worked. You know, I actually think that's not too bad. I think I'll do another row of that, and I think that'll look pretty good. I love it when a plan comes together. Aw, thank you. A lot of work. Yeah, when we moved in, this room was like a baby pink, and we used this room for like storage for like well over a year after we had moved in, and I was like, you know, I could use that room to like do my art in. And so I was like, you know, trying to envision how I would want my room to look, and I used my favorite color, which is teal or aqua, and I know you can't really tell it because it's so dark back there, but yeah. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna paint it that. I wasn't really feeling, you know, I wasn't feeling the baby pink. It was okay, but it just wasn't quite me. It's funny too, because like this room, like all the dogs that we've had in this house they just love this room. Like, this room is a happy space, and they're just kind of drawn to it. Just funny. So every time I come in here, like, I usually have a dog in here with me. Here, let me turn the light on back here and you can see the color better. Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, so next I'll be painting the dowels. That's already starting to fill in more and look better. It looks floofier. Oh, my favorite TV show. I like Supernatural. Psych. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, those are probably my favorite. If you're older like me, my probably absolute favorite was Quantum Leap. That was a show that came on in like the early 90s. I watched it when I was a kid. I love that show. What's your favorite shows? That's the one thing I don't like about hot glue is the strings. Like, ugh. Stop it. See what I'm saying? I think if you do this though, like you get the hot glue tip here, it'll come off. Alright, there we go. So now I got 3 flowers ready to go. Yay! Just wondering what it might look like if I stuck leaves on it too. That's what that looks like. Oh, that's kind of fun. I don't know. What do you think? With leaves or without leaves? I think it's kind of cool with it. I might do that. Loud House. I have not heard of that one. What's that one about? Is it a house that's very loud? With leaves. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Alright, I'm going to cut that center part out just because I think it'd be really bulky, because I'm going to have to attach it to a flat base and I don't want to make it stick out too terribly much. So I'm going to cut out that center and the leaves can lay more flat. Yes, with a lot of kids. Just gonna put a little bit of glue back here too, just to make sure they stick really well. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. What do you craft? I see that your name says crafter. What do you craft? I've been doing this for over 20 years, doing art, you know, like more seriously. And haven't looked back. I love it. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool with those leaves. I'm glad we thought of that. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I garden a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I found a few things that, you know, I can keep alive. So that's something. Oh, drawing. Okay. Yeah, I love drawing too. Yeah, I have an iPad over here that I like to draw on. That's fun. Like when the beginning of the pandemic happened and everything, um, I had just gotten my iPad and I would use that sucker all the time to draw. And that really helped with the anxiety from all of that, you know, that was going on. And I still do that sometimes. Like yesterday, here, let me show you something I drew. I had started this owl, I don't know, months ago, and I never finished it. I just couldn't figure out how to finish it. Let me turn this down. I couldn't figure out how to finish it. And then, like 2 nights ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and see how it turns out. So that's an owl I did. You can tell or not, but the eyes are like glittery. They got like sparkles in them. Yeah. And then I got like designs on the feathers too. Yeah. I think it turned out pretty good. Considering, you know, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Take care and have fun, alright? Alright, well, my flowers are done, so I need to get to painting the dowels. So I'm going to unplug this glue gun for now. Get this moved out of the way a little bit more because I don't want to get burned. Alright. So for this, I'm going to use acrylic paint. And I have where I'm going to mount everything. So this is just a wood, like, canvas. People paint on these. I'm going to flip it, and this way it'll look like it's framed, which is pretty cool. And the plan is I'll put the dowels inside and then attach the flowers like so. And then this guy will be like up here. I know it's flat, but I'll move the camera around so you can see what I'm talking about better. Let's see. Yeah, so like that, something like that. Because I want the hummingbird to be like over the flower itself. So I might have to do something like that, but yeah. And then I'm gonna have, you know, more flowers in here with it. Maybe something like that. We'll see. But that's the plan. And then I'm gonna have the whole back painted as well. Listening to Spider-Man lo-fi is funny. Every time it pops up on the playlist, I'm like, just want to laugh. It's funny. It's funny to me. Alright, so I'm going to get this kind of where I want it. Maybe something like that. So I'm just going to eyeball where I want it. And these are tin snips. They're my husband's, but He doesn't care. I use him for snips like this all the time. That was more rambunctious than I wanted it to be. That's okay. Good grief. Alright, so now that'll lay in there like that. Yay! And then I'll be able to place the flower on top of it. Like that. And then these leaves down here, I can probably kind of tuck them down in there like that. So that'll be, I think that'll be pretty cool. And then I just got to figure out where I want these guys. Okay, so maybe about like right there. And how do I get this to not be as rambunctious when I cut it? Maybe do it down here. And try and hold both sides, maybe. Try and do it left-handed. That one on the floor. Well, it's better than flying all over the room, I guess. Alright, let me get it. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, that'll work. This guy might be a little too long now, so I'm gonna have to trim this one down a little bit too. But because I don't think I want these flowers to be taller than the center one. I really want that center one to be the focus. So how much should I take off? Maybe about like that. Alright, this is gonna go flying over the room again. I just know it. No. Yay, that wasn't so bad. I don't know where it went. That wasn't so bad. Okay. Yes, that works. Yay! Okay. So the hummingbird, I'm thinking I might have to attach it to the corner to make it work. But that's what I'm working with right now. What do y'all think so far? And I definitely will paint the background. I'm thinking, you know, maybe like pink undertones, maybe orangey undertones, and then do like a turquoisey kind of blue over it for the sky. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm not even sure, but I'm kind of also thinking I might paint like, you know, hummingbirds in the background. So it'll be like just these flowers are being bombarded with hummingbirds. But yeah, I just wanted the one to kind of pop off though. So yeah, that's where I'm at with all that right now. Okay, now that we got all these cut and everything, I can paint the dowels. Yeah, and that's a 12 by 12 board. So 12 by 12 inches. Alright. So I'm going to do a leaf green. And then I have a metallic green here. It's called festive green. And I'm probably going to put that over the top of it to make it shimmer a little bit. My name's Misty. What's your name? Thank you. It's okay if you don't want to tell me your name, but I'm Misty. Alright. Jay, of course. Hello, it's in your name. I should have known that. You never know. Some people might just like blue jays, and you know, their name could be Jay because of blue jays. I don't know. Yeah, Misty Blue, Designs by Misty Blue is my nickname. Misty Blue is my nickname. So I decided, that's what I was going to name my art business. It's Designs by Misty Blue. Because it's not just painting or drawing. I also make stuff like I sculpt in polymer clay and paper mache. So it's not just one thing that I do several things. All right. Well, nice to meet you. This is where my fingers are going to turn green. But that's okay. This stuff washes off really easily. Alright, one more. Yeah, so this is based off of a piece that I drew in high school. I drew it in pencil, and it was like flowers coming out of the ground, and they had like faces, and the hummingbirds were just all around the flowers. And I named the piece "You'll Poke Your Eye Out," because they're hummingbirds and they're pokey. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was in high school. It was weird, and it was kind of experimental type art, just something I did for fun. And I actually wound up painting it on canvas later as an adult. But then, recently I thought it might be kind of fun to sculpt it and just see how it turns out. Okay, let that dry for just a minute. But get this metallic paint going. I hate that they put the plastic on. I know that it's supposed to be for safety and all that, but I freaking hate it. It's always a pain in the butt to get off. There we go. Yeah, spaghetti's alright. I like fajitas. Alright, just gonna let those dry a little bit longer. Yeah, spaghetti used to be my favorite. I actually remember like my 16th birthday, my mom was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make your favorite meal and you can invite your friends over for your birthday." And I'm like, "Sweet." And so she made me her spaghetti. So that was cool. Alright, I think it's soaked in pretty good. So I'm gonna start on this metallic green. And you might not notice much of a difference on camera, but it does add a shimmer, which I think is nice. It's basically the same color green, but it's just going to be shimmery. And the reason I do an undercoat paint before is because if I just applied this straight on, it'd probably be kind of transparent and would require a lot of coats of paint. So it's better to put on like a base, coat of paint and then paint this over it. It went in the paint. That's okay, it's no big deal. Okay, there we go. On to the next. Yeah, and I like to use paper plates for my paint palette. It's easy cleanup doing it that way. This one's kind of pretty, the song. Alright, so now we just gotta let those dry before we can attach them. But I'm gonna have to paint the back of that wood piece. So yeah, this is definitely gonna need to get painted. Alright, so I'm just gonna set that aside, rinse my brush, and then I'm probably gonna start painting on that wood board. Why does that remind me of Jurassic Park? Because it's Jurassic Park. That's funny. Yeah, this isn't like my playlist that I, usually play. For my lives, I like to do a lo-fi kind of music for copyright stuff reasons. And I just found this playlist, and I haven't heard everything that's on it. And it's funny because they got like Spider-Man lo-fi, and now they've got Jurassic Park lo-fi, which is pretty funny. Alright, let's see about this paint color here. Okay. My office is my studio is kind of small, so as you can see, I've got stuff piled on stuff. But, I make it work. Alright, so I've got this orange, and then I'm going to want to do, let me see, no, not light blue, a parrot blue. Alright, so I've got this neon orange and a parrot blue. Those are the colors I'm going to use. I'm going to get everything moved out of the way so I can come in here and paint this board. Alright, and I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do is paint it white first. So, do that. And then that way the colors will really pop. Because, again, with this paint, it comes on pretty transparent. So if I paint the board white first, that'll really help. I want to move everything because I don't want anything to get white paint on it. Now, I'm going to use a bigger brush for this too. And again, this is all just acrylic paint that you can get at like Walmart, you can get it at Hobby Lobby, Amazon, places like that. Yeah, I could also paint this in gesso. I guess that's how they pronounce it, Gesso. And that would help, like with paint grip, like the paint I put over it would grip better and things like that. So there's two different things you can do. You can prime it, you can, use the white paint, or you can use gesso. I'm just going to use white paint. I'm not too worried about grip. I think it'll be fine. Hey Liliana, how are you? Welcome back. I'm going to turn my fan on. It'll help the paint dry a little bit more quickly. That's the great thing about acrylic paint, is it dries pretty quick, pretty quick. And if you're impatient and you just want to get your stuff going, acrylic paint's the way to go. But you do have to paint quickly. You got to keep that in mind. You know, like with oil paint, you can work with it forever and a day because it takes a very long time for oil paint to dry. It can take up to a year for an oil painting to cure. Definitely not as long with acrylic. I'm working on a mixed media piece, so it's going to be made from paper mache, pieces of like fake flowers, fake plastic eyes, wood dowels, and acrylic paint. There's some exhibitions coming up, and right now they're looking for mixed media pieces, and if I can get this finished within the next few days, I can enter it into the exhibition and maybe they'll let me in, which I think that'd be pretty cool. So we'll see. Right now it's really bright and vibrantly colored, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I might like boil up some tea and then maybe like stain everything with the tea, and then it kind of brings down the color. It mutes it a little bit. I'm thinking about it. That might be what I do. Just see. Just wait and see. Yeah, this will help the paint that I put over top of it really pop. Yeah, I've noticed when I paint, there are some colors that are just transparent. Like green will be kind of transparent, so I'll have to do like multiple coats of green a lot of the time. Red is definitely transparent, so I have to be mindful of that when I'm painting. And so a lot of times what you'll want to do is paint like white or black underneath, and that'll help the color show more. And maybe even use less coats of paint at that point. So it's kind of what I'm doing here with this. I'm gonna paint it white, and then I'll probably do like this neon orange, let it dry, and then I can go over with the blue, and the orange will kind of come through the blue and you'll be able to see it. And it's just a neat effect. I've done it on another painting before and I really liked it, so that's what I'm going for here too, because it was actually the painting I did of this that was on canvas. It was of the hummingbirds flying around the flowers and like poking their eyes out. Not really, but that's what the title was. I said, you know, you'll poke your eye out. And this is kind of a loose interpretation of that. But it'll be in like paper mache and all that. I hate painting these edges. They're a little tricky. You can get too much paint, and then it, you know, it can be kind of like just messy and not look good. So I really hate doing the edges. Definitely want to make sure I lay down all that paint, get it as smooth as possible before continuing, because I don't want it to dry and then just be like bulky and crusty, and that's no good. That is not the look I'm going for. See it in there, it's just flat. For the most part. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, there's just a look I'm trying to go for here, and gotta try and work towards that goal. I should have got that canvas painting out, but I have it's stored away right now. Maybe someday I'll pull it out and show y'all. There's a little bit of a fume smell with this paint too, so that's another reason I like to have the fan going. Kind of just blows it away. It's non-toxic, it says, but I don't like to breathe it in too much. Yeah, I'll show y'all. So this is the design I had originally planned on doing. I had done it on this huge canvas board, and it was going to be like swirly like that, dark blue. But I think I decided to try and stay more true to the original drawing and painting that I had done. So I'm going a different direction with the colors. And decided I wanted it square and not so huge. Yeah, I have a mixed media piece on exhibition right now. And it's a heart with wings. It's paper mache heart that I had sculpted, and it's like big, it's like that. And then I sculpted the wings, and on a board like this, a little bit smaller, and it says, in my dreams I'm free, and that's on exhibition right now at a place called Poured in Mansfield, Texas. And I'm really excited about having it there. It's really, really cool venue, really just laid back and pretty. But the exhibition is ending soon, and I'll have to go pick up the painting. But there are videos of it up right now here on YouTube if y'all would like to see it. So like all together now, including this one, I've done 3 paper mache sculptures slash art pieces. So, alright, so this is where we're at so far. I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint this white as well. This isn't the most glamorous thing about creating art. I think the most glamorous bit is finishing, but this is necessary to get there. Yeah, and I was thinking about transparent paint. Watercolor is transparent too. So you can do some neat things with watercolor, when you keep that in mind. Like you can layer, like let's say you want to do bubbles or something like that. You could actually do like a layer of bubbles that you painted, let it dry, and then come back over it with more paint and bubbles. And so you can have like layered bubbles like that. It's really cool. But yeah, I do have watercolor tutorials available if anyone's interested. There's a link in my profile for that. This is acrylic painting, but I do teach watercolor too. Gonna move those dowels a little bit. I don't want them to get any white on them, so probably a good idea to move them. Yeah, I'm not sure I'll get this piece finished today, but I will definitely post the final results when I do. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today, for chatting me up. I really appreciate it. It's always very nice when people come in and chat me up, so I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. So thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for the subscriptions too. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I recently got over 1,000 subscribers. I'm just really excited and grateful for that. So thank y'all. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my goal is to maybe eventually be monetized. It would be really nice to be able to take care of my family with my art. And so every subscription, that happens here helps me towards that goal, and I really appreciate it. Some things to know about me, if you're interested in subscribing, is I believe in human rights, women's rights, civil rights. I do talk about that. I have chronic illnesses, so I talk about that sometimes. I also grew up in an abusive home, and so I talk about healing through the trauma and everything like that. So those are some things to know about me. I do post my art, but I also, believe in those things and talk about them sometimes. So if you can relate, definitely subscribe. I don't say it enough probably, but I do have art in my shops. I do have art tutorials as well if you'd like to learn how to do watercolor painting. I'm not the best salesperson. I'm just not. Not that I don't love what I do or support what I do. Like, I do love what I do, but I don't know. I don't think about the sales part so much. I should. I know I should because I want to support my family. I'm just not the best at saying, hey, go check out my links. I like just hanging out and painting and trying to feel better, right? And help people feel less stress. That's really my main focus, in all this. It's kind of nice doing art like this too on these wood boards, because a lot of times when I do exhibitions, they want the piece to be framed, which is fine, but this way it already looks framed, right? It's like built in almost. And I know this is like the back side of the board, but I'm using it as the front, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so if it's not framed, they want the edges painted. But this looks like it's framed, and then the edges will be painted. So either way, it works out. Alright, so now I gotta focus on painting the edge. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm doing my lives for like up an hour to an hour and a half. I've got one that's almost 2 hours. So I do stick around for a little bit, chat, hang out, and just create. I actually did a poll recently in like the community part here of my page, and asked, do you like longer lives or shorter lives? And the consensus was mostly for longer lives. Like, well, that works out because that's what I've been doing. So. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I get that a lot. People will say, "Well, I'm doing my own art too," or, you know, drawing or whatever while I'm doing this live. And that's always nice, just hanging out with people. Well, we're getting there. I got these 2 edges left, and then I can start adding the orange paint. I'll probably paint the back as well, because when I go to sign it, it helps when I do that, so that like the ink or the paint that I use doesn't just soak into the wood and kind of spread out. It looks awful. So if I paint it first and then sign it, it actually looks a lot better. but I'm not going to be painting the back today. Not just yet. I want to get this going, and then maybe I'll save that for one of the last things I do. I really just want to get moving forward on this project. I started it, I don't know, a month ago, a couple weeks ago, something like that. And just kind of life happens, right? And I haven't gotten back in here to do it. And today I was like, you know what? It's a good day to get going on that project. Alright. I should have set more paper down on my table. It happens. You get paint or you don't want paint. It's just one of those things, right? Alright. Bye. Take care. Thanks for stopping in. On that note, I think I will end this live, let this paint dry a little bit more, and I will definitely be sure to post the final product. But thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Please check out the link in my bio for art tutorials for my shop, and please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.